Welcome to Storied Audio. Brooke used to believe that love could survive anything. Until the night she proved herself wrong. She and Robert had been together for 3 years. Quiet years, steady years, the kind that build a life without you even noticing. He wasn't loud or flashy. He didn't sweep her off her feet with grand gestures. He just showed up. Every day. Every time. For everything. But her family never approved. "He's too simple," her mother would say. "He'll hold you back," her father insisted. "You could do better," her sister whispered. And Brooke, who had always been the good daughter, listened. The breaking point came on a cold November evening. Robert had invited her to dinner at his apartment. He'd cooked, badly but with love, and he'd set the table with mismatched plates. He was nervous. He could tell. Halfway through dinner, he reached across the table and took her hand. "Brooke, I want to talk about our future." Her heart jumped. She knew what he meant. She'd seen the small box in his jacket pocket earlier. He wasn't subtle. But before he could say anything else, her phone buzzed. A message from her mother. "Come home. We need to talk. This is your last chance to make the right decision." Brooke stared at the screen. Her chest tightened. Robert noticed. "Everything okay?" She looked at him, really looked at him. His hopeful eyes. His soft smile. The man who loved her more than anyone ever had. And she broke. I can't do this," she whispered. Robert froze. "Can't do what?" "Us," she said, her voice cracking. "My family, they're right. We're too different. I need to think about my future." He didn't yell. He didn't beg. He just sat there, the light draining from his face. "If this is what you want," he said quietly, "I won't stop you." But it wasn't what she wanted. It was what she chose. She left his apartment that night with tears burning her eyes and her heart screaming at her to turn back. But she didn't. She walked away. She went home. She told her family she ended things. And they were proud of her. For a while. The regret didn't hit all at once. It came slowly, like a bruise spreading under the skin. She missed the way he said her name. She missed his terrible cooking. She missed how he always remembered the little things. Her favorite tea, her fear of thunderstorms, the way she liked her blankets tucked under her feet. But she told herself she'd made the right choice. Until she didn't. Her family began to unravel. Her parents fought constantly. Her sister moved out after a huge argument. The perfect family she'd sacrificed everything for was crumbling, and she realized something painful. They had never cared about her happiness. Only their expectations. And she had thrown away the one person who truly loved her. One night, months later, she found herself standing outside Robert's old apartment. She didn't even remember walking there. She just ended up at his door. But he was gone. The landlord told her he'd moved out weeks earlier. No forwarding address. No explanation. "He seemed heartbroken," the landlord said. Said he needed a fresh start. Brooke felt the world tilt beneath her feet. She had broken him. And now he was gone. For almost a year she lived with the weight of that choice. She dated other people, but every time someone held her hand she felt nothing. Every time someone kissed her she felt wrong. Every time someone said her name she wished it was Robert's voice instead. She tried to move on. But her heart refused. One evening, after another failed date, she sat alone in her car and whispered into the silence. "I loved you. I still love you. I'm sorry." It was the first time she'd said it out loud. And it broke her. The turning point came unexpectedly. She ran into an old coworker of Robert's at a grocery store. A friendly guy named Marcus who used to tease Robert about being whipped. When he saw her, his smile faded. "You okay?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "Do you know where he went?" Marcus hesitated. Then he sighed. "He moved to Willow Creek. Small town. Quiet. Said he needed space to heal." Brooke's breath caught. Does he hate me?" Marcus looked at her for a long moment. "No," he said softly. "He misses you. But he doesn't think you ever loved him." Her heart shattered. "I did," she whispered. "I still do." Marcus nodded toward the exit. "Then go tell him." The next morning she drove 3 hours to Willow Creek. Her hands shook the entire way. She didn't know what she would say. She didn't know if he'd even open the door. But she had to try. She found him in a small bookstore shelving new arrivals. His hair was longer. He looked older. Tired. But still him. When he turned and saw her, he froze. Brooke. Her throat tightened. Hi. He didn't move. Didn't speak. Just stared at her like she was a ghost. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking instantly. I'm so sorry for everything. I chose wrong. I listened to people who didn't care about me. I hurt you. I know I did. And I've regretted it every day since. He swallowed hard. Why are you here? Because I never loved anyone else, she whispered. I tried. I really tried. But my heart never moved on. I stayed with you. And if you hate me, I understand. If you found someone else, I'll walk away. But I needed you to know the truth. Robert closed his eyes. His jaw trembled. I never found anyone else, he said quietly. I couldn't. I tried to. But every time I thought about moving on, I remembered you. Tears blurred her vision. I'm so sorry. He stepped closer. Fully. Carefully. As if afraid she might disappear. I loved you, he said. I still do. But I need to know. If I give you another chance, will you choose me this time? He didn't hesitate. Yes, she whispered. Every day, yes. Robert exhaled shakily, then pulled her into his arms. She melted into him, sobbing into his chest, feeling the weight of a year of regret finally lift. He held her like he'd been waiting forever. Maybe he had. Subscribe to the channel for more audio stories.